The House of Representatives Committee on Public Petition has ordered the arrest of the Central Bank of Nigeria Governor Olayemi Cardoso, Accountant General of the Federation, Oluwatoyin Madeyin, and 17 others over failure to appear before it for questioning of their functions. The motion for the arrest was moved by Fred Agbedi of the People's Democratic Party from Bayelsa, noting that the arrest was unavoidable due to the behavior of those invited, as they have been invited more than twice without showing up. According to the petitioner, Fidelis Uzowane, the requisition was on the Nigeria Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative report of 2021. Uzowane noted that the report was a brief of the trades in the oil and gas industry for 2021, which NGT could question. To further discuss this, we're joined by Alesta Wilcox, a chartered accountant. Good to see you and thank you for joining us on Nigeria Tonight. Before we delve into the discussion proper, let me wish you a very happy birthday.
Thanks for having me, Felicity. It's nice having seen you after a very long while, too.
Yes, it's been a minute. All right, what are your thoughts on the details in the petition by Mr. Uzowane? Most people hailed NGT's report, which has some revelation, but the man is alleging that we're all being played, are we?
Well, we play a lot in this country. That's what I want to say, in the sense that we have institutions and governance structures that we do not allow to work. We created these structures are being created, but unfortunately, they are not allowed to work as they are supposed to work. NGT is an agency that is responsible for monitoring what happens in the oil and gas sector in terms of compliance to standard and principles. But unfortunately, NGT has always been a barking dog that does not bite. I do not think that NGT has any prosecutory power, any other power other than just being as a watchdog and make reports and findings. And that for me is a very terrible situation, because if there's an agency of government that do not have enough power and enough bite to executive mandate, then it's a wasted resources on such agencies. NGT has been along. I've always had NGT make recommendation, make noise, raise issues, and this thing just go like that, and they just keep and it just becomes business as usual. I do not understand why an agency of government will not have the power to implement whatever mandate that is being given to implement.
What about the arrest of these big names in the economy? Is this a new era being summoned like this? And do you expect that they will respond after they've refused before now?
Felicity, the difference between a military administration and the civilian government is the legislature. Now, the legislature is expected to be the most powerful organ, a very powerful organ in the governance architecture of a democratic nation. But sadly, our legislature has remained a comatose legislature. It was at the state level, whereby in Canada, their oversight function is either they are overreaching the system or they do not have the capacity to bring people. Look, this is not the first time government official has shown invitation by the Senate. Remember what happened during the Maina case, to the point that the Senate president, then David Mark, had to tell President Jonathan that he had to choose between us and Maina, because Maina was invited over and over. Rather than honoring the summons, Maina was even being protected by a long convoy of military officers. So he was not able to be arrested. Now, this is not the end. We've had instances of so many government officials that have shown the National Assembly. Recently, the current Minister of Aviation, Professor Skaimu, had to apologize to the Senate for shunning their invite when he was a Minister of State for Labour. And that would have cost him his confirmation as a minister in this current dispensation. Now, why am I saying this? Unfortunately, the legislature has been taken for a ride because they had made themselves subservient to the executive. Now, yes, the executive has some role to play in the leadership structure of the legislature, but it should either not be or at best end at that level. And the legislature seems to hold out their own, but unfortunately, they don't hold out their own. That is why they are not respected. Our legislators in this country are not respected. Now,
so, but
level,
are there any implications? Are there any implications, not just for the House of Representatives, but for these individuals that have been arrest warrant has been issued for? Do you expect that they would actually be arrested? And considering the fact that you said yourself, one of the appointees had to apologize, will this be a precedent they will be setting for this administration? Are you concerned that is a possibility?
I am very much concerned and worried because nobody will be arrested. I can tell you that for free. Nobody has been arrested. The legislature will always create that smoke screen, flex their muzzle. At the end of the day, there will be a back end discussion and everything. It didn't start today. We've had instances, cases on, in fact, more than enough cases. So this will just go like that. Now, I'm not also in favor of frivolous invitation of government officials. Now, some of the things that government officials has always complained about is the frivolity of inviting them to come and make explanations. Now, the National Assembly...
But is this frivolous? Is this instance, sorry to interrupt you, but is this instance frivolous in your thinking, or there's germane reasons why the CBN governor should appear before the House of Representatives?
No, there may be germane reasons. I do not have all the details of the facts, and as to why native reporters to link the CBN governor. Remember, he's just about 3 or 4 months old, 2 or 3 months old on the job, about 2 months old on the job. So I don't know what could have made this. Of course, government is a continuum. So what will happen? We're talking about 2021. So it is also the fact that when you inherit an office, you inherit both assets and liabilities. So if there's a question, then you need to come and answer. Now, if you do not have enough facts to answer the question, you could tell the assembly, look, sir, can you give me a bit of time because I'm just new and I need to get my act together before I can answer your summon. But shunning the summon of the National Assembly, it's in itself, in fact, I will call it a subtle coup against democracy, because if there's no National Assembly, democracy is only as important as the National Assembly. That's a legislature. In the military government, you have the judiciary, you have the executive, but you don't have the legislature. And so the legislature is the only arm that functions, and we call it a democracy. So if that arm is ridiculed, of course, in the state level, and I'm saying this, there's nothing like governance, there's nothing like legislation at the state level, because they are all appendages and stooges of whoever is in power, and they make themselves so. They make themselves so. At national, at the federal level, we still have some snippets of a resemblance of them exerting their powers.
I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens with the arrest warrants. Alesta, if you can hear me.
Nobody will be arrested. It will just become business as usual. I can assure you that.
All right. Thank you very much, as always, for speaking with us.
It's always my pleasure. Thank you for having me.